Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to a new edition of Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. And to my far right, my co-host, KJ, Kevin Johnson. And also today's special guest, we have a former Clemson women's basketball player. She led the team in rebounds, the school in rebounds, should I say. And then she went on and played professionally. Now she was coaching track and field, won state championships there. And now she's a guidance counselor at the elementary school. We'd like to thank today's special guest, Miss Julia Louise GreenWood Dent. All right. How you doing, Miss Dent?
I'm lovely. I'm lovely.
All right. I'm glad to have you on the show today. For the people that don't know you, let them know a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background.
I always tell people I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody about somebody.
All right.
Anybody, but I come to you from a little small town in Beach Island, South Carolina.
Okay.
I'm the youngest of 7.
Okay.
Such a blessing, and we're a close-knit family. I mean, just a little about myself. I love the Lord.
There you go.
And I just enjoy being a people person, helping people be able to get what they need in life and be able to survive. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about someone else being able to go along today.
There you go.
That's right. That's right. What age you start playing sports, and what sport was your first love?
Oh boy. We started at a young age, all 7 of us. Me and my sisters would get that softball. To be honest with you, softball is my love. And we started very young. I'll say 6, 7 years old out there throwing the ball around. It became so great around here. You know, we was one of the teams, the Blue Knights. I would say the Blue Knights traveling softball team. And we went all over the place playing ball. That led me to be able to play with, so many different other softball teams, Jack and Jill's, when we went out, just picking up games, going on out. Then, I love all the sports I love, but softball was my love. Then we got into volleyball, and then we got into basketball. Yeah. And so just from there, everything started falling into place.
Okay. So what position did you play in softball growing up?
Oh, I played first base.
Okay. Yeah.
First base. Nothing got past me. Yeah. Nothing got past me.
All right. Yeah. You had to stretch with it too? You had to stretch?
Oh, yeah. I stretch it, pop, make it do what it do.
All right.
What that hitting look like?
Well, the hitting was also, let me throw you back. In high school, they stopped pitching to me. They stopped pitching to me. Automatic walk. Go get on the base. What? But, out in the community, like I said, it was one of those things where, hey, all I did like the old folks. I pointed it out. Okay. When I pointed it out, you better believe that's where it was going. So it was just joy, that joy, just that thing that when you come together, you don't see much of that now. But just that coming together, just enjoying life.
There you go.
So,
True.
Right. So what age did you pick up basketball?
I started all of it about the same. Around 6th grade. 6th grade, just out there. I was, like I said, I was playing softball, and then I went over to the basketball court, just doing little odds and ends, nothing much. Then people, you need to do this, you need to do this, you got this. But to be honest with you, softball was the love. So, I focused more on softball, but then 6th grade, we started getting into, little leagues here, little leagues there. And that's where it kicked off from 6th grade up, and it rolled right on through.
Okay.
Hey, when you was younger, as a kid, what famous athletes you looked up to, to help you out with your craft?
Well, to be honest with you, it was always my parents. They always installed in us, be who you are. Don't worry about the next one. You can look at what they do, but be who you are. So I have to say my parents, because they pushed us so much. They pushed us so much to be who we are. and therefore you can't worry about nobody letting you down when you're being who you are.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. So growing up in the area you came from, describe that a little bit about, you know, the town, the community, the teachers, the school, faculty, you know, the fans. Talk about that a little bit. What impact did they have when you coming through the school system?
Oh, wow. We're getting ready to celebrate one of my teachers right now, Miss Wimberly. She was my second grade teacher.
Okay.
And she always told us, you know, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Say, because, you know, if you put your mind to it and you really want it bad enough, she said, you will find out and make a way of how to get it done. And I tell you right now, she's getting ready to turn 99 years old.
Wow.
And it's a blessing. She's still here and she's still educating in a way. She's still doing some things. My area is not that big. Like I said, a little town called Beach Island, South Carolina. One red light, you blank, you done missed us, but it's not that big. But I can tell you what, it's got a lot of love here. A lot of love. The community, you know, the community, oh my, they all work with you. They work together for you. And it's just like, Louise going well, Louise doing what? And that's just the way it was. You know, we all worked together and enjoyed each other.
That's good. Yeah. So talk a little bit about some of your siblings. You're the youngest out of 7. Out of all your siblings, which one you were the closest to and you looked up the most to, you know?
All of us are so close. Everywhere we go now, KJ can tell you it was 3 of them that was there with me. You know, when we came down to Batesburg, we all travel together. When I go to Clemson now, they'll say, "Oh well, we know Louise got a whole family." Yeah, we all right here. We just travel so deep. I mean, if I say just like tonight, I'm saying, you know, I'm on this pod, right? And I informed them that I was here. Now, I'm telling you what, if they were at little kids' ball games, everybody be tuned in.
Yes,
They would
ma'am.
all be tuned in right here,
Yeah,
watching what you guys are talking about, you know?
yes, ma'am.
So
You got spring
I
sports. Go
can't
ahead.
say it again.
I said we got spring sports approaching, you know, baseball, you got March Madness and everything happening. I know you're heavy in basketball and coaching. Can you talk about, you know, your transition from 6th grade going into high school and finding your purpose, finding your position, your true position in high school?
Well, with me, it was always having to compete. You know, who she thinks she is. She's supposed to be back there
No.
on JV. She coming to varsity. Oh, she got to
Yeah.
work. But see, for me, it wasn't even about that because remember, softball was my love. So I just got out there with basketball and did what I had to do. So, you know, just transitioning from middle school to the high school and not even playing JV, playing varsity. You know, that was just a transition by itself because you're looking at 6'3", 6 feet in the 6th grade. And
Wow.
6'3", once I got into the high school and college, I mean, I'm 6'3" now. So just looking at all of that, you know, and of course, you know, you're gonna have your haters. You think everybody, you know, we want to think that everybody loves us, but we're gonna have our haters. But my thing was to get out there and to do my best each time that I stepped out on the court. And so just from transitioning from the lower level to the high level, it was a blessing. And the transition from the high school level to the college level, once again, a challenge. It's always a challenge, but I can tell you what, it was well worth the job, you know, stepping out on the courts at Clemson University. It was well worth it.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know, being recruited by Annie Tribble, the one and only Annie Tribble. So well worth it. Well worth it.
Yeah.
All right.
I know you just talking about your height. Could you at least touch the rim in high school, or did you try to dunk at one point?
Well, I'd be all over the rim, but you know, I was never into trying to dunk because you know, 6'3", stay under the goal, stay in the post area. But every now and then, you know, I had to step it back and shoot them threes, just to let them know I knew how to shoot them. You know.
Okay.
But it was great. It's great.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, who touched the form? Because it seemed like you was a great shooter, though.
It's still there. It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
I have to prove myself every now and then to these little ones. how they call these little young bucks. I have to prove myself every now and then.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
So when you started high school, what were some of the challenges that you had to face? Coming in, you say you was a freshman. You talked about some of the older students saying, "Oh, who she thinks she is coming in." Besides that, what were some of the on-court challenges that you had making that transition going to high school?
To be honest with you, it wasn't many because I just, every day it was to just get out there and do what you need to do.
Okay.
And so to be honest with you, I didn't feel as though I had a challenge in that way. It just was on the court, just maintaining and working hard. Don't get me wrong, working hard to make sure that I, kept my spot, because they always say we're gonna knock her back down. She's, that's the freshman. She ain't got no business out here. But other than that, we had love. It was nothing but love at the Bluff.
Yes,
Just making it do what it do.
All right. So, you played at Silver Bluff. Name some of the teams that you guys played against, and some of your rivals in the state.
Oh wow, Barnwell was one of our top rivals. Barnwell High School. Can't forget about Wade Hampton. Then on this end we played against Aiken High, South Aiken. Williston Echo. Williston Echo used to have a team, Greta O'Neill. I never forget a Greta O'Neill, Williston Echo. But like I say, that rival was Barnwell. When you look at Barnwell, you think about Linda Oldham.
Okay.
Linda was a ball player. I mean, I don't know what she's doing now, but when you went through Barnwell, you knew Linda Oldham. Okay. Because Linda was that left-handed player that GreenWood got to stop. You got to stop Oldham. So, and then that was on that end. And then Mill Valley, Sharon Gilmore, get Sharon Gilmore. And I'll never forget it, from the high school transition, going into the college, Clemson playing South Carolina.
Yes,
so we're from the same area, Sharon Gilmore, Louise GreenWood. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I say, nothing I got to do but go out there and play. So, it was just like that. You go out there and play, you make it do what it do.
That's right.
So that's pretty much, those rivals.
That's right. Did y'all make it to the playoffs or win any state titles? Your time there?
We made it to the playoffs. We made it to some of the last rounds, but my year we never won the championship with basketball.
Okay.
But we did the whole 9 yards. My 30, 40 points didn't help, but so that's, I'm just being honest, the more you score, but it takes more than one. It's a team thing. So yeah.
What about any other sport?
Any other sport?
When you was in high school, did you win any state titles? Like, I know you said you played volleyball, softball.
Yes, we won some state titles with volleyball. We did. Softball. The year that I played, we did not win the state that year, but the following year when I left, they won the state that year.
Okay.
And they've been doing some great things afterwards. Volleyball has been doing some great things now at Silver Bluff. The girls' basketball has been doing some awesome things. They made it to the last round last year and made it to the last round this year and got put out. But to see the improvement of the team, it's just been awesome. So the girls have been doing a great job.
All right. So talk about your high school coach a little bit. What type of impact did they have on you?
Oh, wow. Drew McPherson Nix. That was one of the coaches that took me under her arms and say, we need to go a little further and do a little more things. I said, I'm right here and be challenged. What we gonna, where we going? And she took me out to my first camps when we traveled to Tennessee. She took me in her vehicle. She drove me to Tennessee. Right. And we got out there and we competed. Then, she took me to North Carolina. After waiting on me to finish on the softball field. Now, that's a good coach. Remember, I told you the community was big with softball. But I always we got to play my game. We got to play my game first. But she was very patient, and I owe it to her for seeing what she saw in me to say, hey, you could go all the way with this thing, So she stood behind me 100%. Drew McPherson Nix, 100%.
All right. Well, talk about your recruiting process a little bit. How many teams were coming after you coming out of high school?
Wow. The sky was the limit. I could have chosen to go wherever I wanted to go, whether it was volleyball, basketball, softball.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So either sport, they say, hey, we want you, So it was either sport. I mean, I was being recruited by everyone, really. To be honest with you, everyone was recruiting me.
So,
But I wanted to stay close to home.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. For a multi-sport athlete like yourself, when did you have to make that decision to stick with basketball versus football and volleyball? I mean, baseball, softball and volleyball.
Oh, it was simple. They told me I couldn't play softball during the summer due to the fact that I was, scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, I'll take the basketball scholarship because I want to play softball during the summer. When it's time to come home from school, hey, I was ready to get with my sisters. We was ready to go play ball.
I feel
so
you.
Softball, so I that was easy. Hey, I'll take the basketball scholarship because when I come home, I want to play some softball.
That's right.
So that transition was pretty easy. And the volleyball thing was, I did volleyball just to do volleyball.
Yes, ma'am.
But I mean, it could have paid the ticket just as well as basketball.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you get an opportunity to take any visits anywhere?
To any other schools? No. I mean, I had them. They offered them to me, but I wasn't really interested in going to visit. I just say, when that time come, we'll go. We'll do what we need to do. And if, like I say, Clemson was close to home. Carolina was close to home. But when I met Coach Tribble, Annie Tribble, she made me feel that was where I needed to be. Yeah. Just the love that she gave overall, saying, we're going to take care of you. And she did. And she did until, she went out. And then I played the last 2 years under Coach Davis, Jim Davis, and he took care of us as well. He stepped right in and took care of us. So It was great.
So did your first year at Clemson, did you redshirt or did you start just like you did in high school?
Yes, sir. I started. I stepped down and I took some positions and I went on and kept going.
That's good.
And that too was another challenge. I never forget my roommate and I, when we stepped out, Karen Ann Jenkins, they said, we can't let no freshmen come in and take our position. And I said to her, I said, Karen, I'm going to get her position and you're going to get her position. I said, now let's go ahead and work. Let's show them how to do this thing. And that's how it was. We got out there. Remember now, I played softball. Karen, I'm a rebound. You run. Hey, long distance. Long distance. Once I got it, she took off.
Baseball pass down court.
The court. And we made it do what it do.
That's right. You had to showcase that arm and cross.
Can y'all hear me okay? Seems like the volume is gone down.
Okay. Give me 1 second. How about now? Can you hear us?
I think the volume has left me.
Your volume has left you? I can hear you still.
Okay. I can barely hear you guys. So I don't know the question that you're asking.
Okay. Do you know how to go in and come back out?
Say it again. And I apologize because I can see you guys well. I just can barely hear you.
Okay. Can you go in and come back out?
I don't know if I hit something wrong, declining the.
Your camera's turning to the left right now.
They try now. See if they can hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I don't know what happened, but the volume went totally down.
Okay, no problem. So talk about some of the opponents that you played in the ACC at the time. I know probably during that era, Cheryl Miller was one of the top women's basketball player. Talk about some of the teams you played in the ACC at the time.
Well, North Carolina was one of the ones big run the map. Mm-hmm. You had South Carolina Then you had State, North Carolina State, Andrea Stinson. These girls were some ballers. They were some ballers. Christy Winters. Christy played for North Carolina. Dawn Staley. Dawn was a freshman when we came through, but Dawn was a player. And you see, she making some things happen down in South Carolina.
Right.
Like I said, it was so many. I'm just trying to remember that. I can see their faces. I'm just trying to remember their names now. It's been over 30 years, so
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
No problem. Did you guys win any ACC tournaments or conference championships during your era?
We did. We won several. I can remember the Georgia Southern. We went down and we won that one. Actually, I got an MVP for that one as well, for the Georgia Southern tournament. We had a great time down there. We went to New York. We went to New York and we won one of the one of the tournaments there, which was a great experience, coming from the little old beach island, going to New York. And that's where all my traveling started, by me playing ball, being able to go around and see the different places. So that's where all my traveling started. And we won some, we won the tournaments there. I got MVP in one or two of those tournaments there as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, coming out of college, you played ball overseas, right? Talk about that.
I went over to Belgium. I played in Europe. I can remember I was finished up with basketball, and Coach Davis called me over to the office, and he said, "We got a coach here from overseas, and he wants you." I said, "Why he want me? There's other players." "No, he don't want them. He said he needs you." I said, "Well, how many times he saw me play? He don't even know what I play like, No, he's seeing you. He wants you." So I walked into the office saying all that, and comes out of the side room the coach from overseas, John Pierre Vincent. And I want you, American. I want you. So
all right.
one thing after another. It was great. But I said, well, I can't make that decision right now. I have to talk to my mom and see how they feel about me going overseas. Yes, I'm in college. I'm grown, but still, I got to talk to home. Because like I said to you before, we all close. So I just need to make sure I was making that right decision. And true enough, they say, go ahead and give it a shot. And I ended up in Belgium, played with a team called Liège. I met down in St. George, and it was just awesome. A great experience. They made me feel like I was just in my own home. They took care of me. Whatever I thought I wanted, they gave it to me. I was the only American on my team. They just, great atmosphere. It made me feel like Clemson, in a sense, how you leave, but not going to a big place. So the area that I was in was a small area, kind of remind me of home, And so enjoyed it. I went over there and just enjoyed myself and played ball for a while, and then I came on back home.
Okay, all right.
And I still, as of today, keep in contact with those people there. So
that's good. Any language barriers over there? Like, I know you had a culture shock when you first arrived.
Yeah, well, I think they more so had the culture shock than me. Because they kept trying to we have to find someone look like you. We know you're not happy. I said, I'm fine. Let's, we're okay. Let's do what we do. But they wanted to take me over here because these people had dark skin like me. And I laugh about it today because it was so funny. They made sure they found people look like me, but nobody spoke English like me. So it was one of the things, just the shock of being, like we're here now. And I'm looking at all the different businesses that these people own. Everybody owns a business, but it's right out of their homes. Their homes may be at the top and the business at the bottom, or vice versa. And I'll never forget it when I went to visit one of the players. She just wanted me to stay all night. Come on, you got to stay here. You got to stay here. I got there and I was okay. She said, I show you what my father do. We go downstairs, mortuary. I said, oh no, I got to go home. I can't stay in here tonight. So
Oh no.
she said, you're gonna be safe. You're gonna be okay. But just the homes, everybody they own every business that they pretty much own in that area was in their homes. Even
Wow.
if it was a sports shop, it was in their homes. So
Wow.
and I couldn't wait to get home and tell them, they have a funeral home down in the bottom of their house, and just to calling on the phone talking about things like that. And
Okay.
then every February, the 1st of February, that's a day off in Belgium. They go visit the cemetery.
Okay.
That's a national holiday for them. They go visit their loved ones.
All right. So in Belgium, which teams did you guys match up against well? Like who were your rivals overseas?
Um, one of the bigger teams where Christy Winters was playing when we went over to Paris, and Christy Winters was playing there. It was a great matchup. Then I played against what's her name? Gosh, I can see her now. Kay, Kay, Kay. She played for South Carolina State. I mean, not South Carolina State. University of South Carolina.
Gamecocks, okay.
NC State. She played for NC State, and she was overseas. And just seeing those girls, like, wow, how long you been here? Well, I just got here on, so just to see faces that you do know.
Okay.
So it was great. I mean, just some of those teams, like I said, the names are crazy, but like say Sassave, Papista, teams like that. But the teams were great. I mean, not many Americans on it. I mean, I was the only American on my team. There were probably two on the other teams, but my people didn't want no more. They just wanted me. They didn't want no more Americans, just me. So,
Yes, ma'am.
but it was
Any championships you guys win, playoffs or anything?
we did. We won one of the big championships over there. And that was against Sassave, which was one of the bigger teams. And
Yes,
they
ma'am.
were just, but we did win the championship there. It was great. It's crazy though, because you know how we do things, and we need our break. I
Mhm.
said, Coach, I need a break. Take me out. Would never want to take me out the game. So of course, you know what I have to do. I have to get that file in.
Yeah.
He pulled me out. That's out. That's all I needed was the moment. I told you to take me out. But
Oh, yeah.
he laugh about that now. You used to go in and you foul. You foul quick and say, take me out. I said, I'm the only American, but I don't want you to kill me while I'm over here.
Yeah, for
But
real.
yeah, they just, I mean, that was one of their things. You're not Americans. You got to stay in the game. You got to stay in the game. But it was great. I mean, I enjoyed it in every ounce of it, from the time I started out with, when I went over till time to come home.
Yes, ma'am.
Man, talk about life after basketball. What you had, what you got going on now?
What I have going on now, right now, I am a school counselor at a elementary school. And remember, I've tasted the high school, I've tasted the middle school, and now I'm at the elementary school. I'm at J.D. Lever Elementary School, and I love it. Coming from the high school level, people say, well, you think you're going to like being with those babies? Yes, because what I see now from the years that I've been there, I'm able to help them before they get to that age. So before they get to middle school, I'm able to install something in them. And hopefully what I install in them now will follow them from middle school to high school to time to get out. And not just the babies, working with the parents. Get the parents right, you get the children right. And so that's my whole thing. Get the parent right to get the child right, and we'll have a great year. So just being able to work with those babies and see them smile, and
That's good.
every morning, if you guys know with the elementary kids, you're gonna get 1,000 hugs, 1,000 grabs on the leg,
All the way through the school.
right there up under you before you look around. It's like right there at you. So
All
it's a
right.
blessing. It's a blessing.
Yes, ma'am. So talk about coaching track at your alma mater, coming back overseas and winning some
Um,
state titles.
Silver Bluff High School. Wow. Well, we always start out with track and field with 30 and 40 girls. But like I used to tell them all the time, we're just not out here to look pretty. Now, if you want to be a part of this track team, you got to show me this. So I would start off all my days just running. Well, coach, when we going to start doing this and when we going to start doing that? I said, right now we're conditioning. It's going to let me know who want to be and who don't want to be. And, to be honest and to speed it up, because I know we don't have all night, but just with what I had in 90, 91, 92, I took 4 girls to state, 4, and won the state championship.
Wow.
All 4 girls was in 4 events. And as I told them as the year was going by, I said, see how they're dropping out now? I said, it's okay. I said, because that lets you know who want to be and who don't want to be.
That's right.
I said, I need you guys to get in 4 different events. And I'm going to show you what you need to do. So I say, we never had anyone do a pole vault at Silver Bluff High School. I said, it's okay. All I need you to do is run and just stick the stick in the ground and act like you know how to jump it. We made it to state. That acting like we know how to jump over that pole, that won us state. Because the girls didn't get over. We got over one time, and that put us where we needed to be with those points. And just to take them, and all of them was competing and happy to compete.
They believe.
That's right. You don't get much of that now. They're just out there just going through the motion.
There you go.
To be out there right now, and if they really had it in their heart and really pushed themselves to do what they needed to do, oh my, just the sky will be the limit with some of these teams out here now. That's right. But they're going through the motion because everybody want to compete and fight against each other to see who's the best on their team. That's not what it's about. It's about competing, but working as a team to do what you need to do to get to where you need to go.
There you go. Well, we have a clip right here that's celebrating you at Silver Bluff with all the accolades that you accomplished. For everybody that's watching, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, Deezer, and Facebook, Instagram. We have tonight's special guest, former Clemson women's basketball player, leading rebounder, Julia Louise GreenWood Dent. We're going to go ahead and get into that clip, and you guys stay right with us, okay? What happened to the audio? All right, that clip, we do not own the rights to that video. I don't know what happened to the audio on that clip, but it was celebrating Miss Louise and retiring her jersey that night. Talk about how you felt that moment, returning back to your school, leading them to state championships and retiring your jersey.
It was a great feeling. I used to get on them all the time when I was coaching, I said, why is it always football, football, football? I said, let some of these ladies who have gone through and done some things, put their jerseys up there. But I owe that to one of my former students, D'Angelo Bryant. Okay. D'Angelo felt the need and said, Ms. Dent, it's well overdue. And just from him saying that, being, a player and, ran track and did some things at Silver Bluff as well. And saw that it was time for that, my hat goes off to him because not only did, he show up and show out as the head athletic director there, But he made contact with all those other athletes, and they showed up. And the girls that you saw that was with me, those were some of my track runners and basketball players.
Okay.
And they surprised me. I had one to come in from North Carolina.
Okay.
There was a blessing. I was like, girl, you didn't have to come. She said, oh, coach, I had to come. I had to be here for you. And so that makes me feel good. And like I tell them right now, wherever they are, whatever if they ever need me, all they have to do is call me. And that's just not words being said. They know if they need me, they call me, then I'm gonna make it happen.
That's right.
And because I feel like, one if they scratch my back, come on, I got to turn around and scratch theirs. So, whatever they need me for, they know all they got to do is call me. I'm just a phone call away.
There you go.
Yeah. Any message for the youth that might want to follow your footsteps one day?
Oh yeah, well this is I sit there with my kids every day at school, and I always tell them, and I know y'all read about the bucket filler. Bucket, you walk around every day with your invisible bucket. And I tell them every day, don't take out of someone else's bucket if you don't want no one taking out of your bucket. Yes, we have that invisible bucket. My bucket sits here, your bucket sits here. When you do something that is not of character, you take it out of my bucket. So to the youth, don't take out of someone else's bucket if you don't want them dipping into yours. And I always like to tell them, because so much is going on right now, but to the youth, you are not responsible for what someone else does, but you are responsible for what you do. So remember that you are responsible for what you do, but you cannot control what someone else do. So keep that in mind, and you will go a long way in life. And always remember to do what you're supposed to do, not what you want to do.
There you go.
So you will see how that road would take you a long way.
That's right.
When you do what you're supposed to do and not what you want to do.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
thank you guys for having me on tonight, and I hope that something I said will just inspire someone to be able to reach for their dreams, because I'm coming from a little town of Beach Island, South Carolina. And if I can do it, you guys can do it too.
Yes, ma'am. Any shout outs before we head out? Any like coaches, family members, friends, teammates, former
I would
teammates?
like to send a shout out to JD Lever Elementary, because that's where I'm at now, to Drew McPherson, Bonnie Eubanks. Those were my coaches in high school. To my best friend in Colorado, Elaine Wright, who we was ace buku at the high school level. We played ball. We did everything together. We made sure that the other girls did what they had to do. Um, Always keeping a strong head, and just to my family, who always support me 100%. To my husband and my daughter, Michelle Dent, Michael Dent, we thank you just for being there for me. And to you guys who made this happen tonight, I thank you.
All right, Miss Dent. We appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you for your encouraging words and wisdom. We'll love to have you back on the show. You guys just tune in to a new edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. I'd like to thank my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ, and today's special guest, former Clemson leading rebounder in school history, and she's from Silver Bluff. She went overseas and put in a lot of work, and now she's back in her hometown counseling the kids at the elementary school in Silver Bluff. Miss Julia Louise GreenWood Dent. All right, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. All right. Until then, you guys mask, be safe, and we'll see you next episode.
Thank you guys so much.
No problem, Ms. Greenwood. You have a good one.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.